Drive-in movie theaters were the lifeblood of regional filmmakers in the 50s and 60s. With more than 4,000 screens operating across America during this period, drive-in movie theaters were a staple of the era. And do you know what drive-in movie theaters needed to be successful during this period? Yeah, they needed movies. And not just any movies. They needed attention-grabbing movies. Movies featuring sex, drugs, and violence. Over time, these films went to the extreme, and they eventually evolved into grindhouse cinema. Moviegoers ate these films up, and they always wanted more. For all the starving directors at the time, the scene was right for the taking. Enter Florida filmmaker William Grefe. Known as Wild Bil to some, William Grefe thrived in the 60s and 70s with his regional films. These films ranged in subjects but had a connection with horror, sex, or drugs, and in some cases, all three. Tonight's review is on Grefe's third feature film, The Sting of Death. It's a wild film full of awful 60s tropes like science experiments gone terribly wrong, bikini babes, a laughable monster, and of course, plenty of groovy dancing. It's a wild ride, and you're not going to want to miss it. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. "1966, Sting of Death" starts off wonderfully. We get a beach-going bikini babe listening to the radio. The radio acts as a narrator, telling the audience that some fishermen have gone missing. As we listen, a slimy, scuba suit-wearing creature stalks the girl. As she tips her toes in the water, the humanoid creature attacks and pulls her in. The creature takes her body under the water as the credits finish. We then get a boat docking with two men and several girls unboarding. We are on Dr. Richardson's private island of biology research. His daughter Karen is our lead girl, and she brought all of her friends from university over. They are joined by Dr. Richardson's young assistant and love interest to Karen, John. They all gather around a table and have a nice drink when a creepy man sneaks up on them.
I'm willing to learn.
What's the matter?
This is Egon. Everyone hates Egon for no reason. They call him names and pick on him the entire movie.
Oh, you're cute. Would you be my date for the party?
Louise, be kind. He's a friend of mine.
Sure, Egon sneaks up on people, but as you'll see in this movie, everyone is just so darn oblivious to their surroundings. The girls call Egon names, and Karen is the only true friend to him. John's friends from his university are coming over to have a party, and all the girls have just 15 minutes to get ready.
A party? With us looking like this?
We'll never be able to get ready on time.
Now this is a horror movie. Talk about preying on someone's fears. The girls are so mad because they don't have enough time to get ready.
But here's a mess.
In the meantime, the police come over and they have a dead fisherman on the boat. The doctor, John, and Egon look at the body and conclude that a Portuguese man of war killed this person, but it couldn't be. They are relatively small, but this guy's scars are from a really big jellyfish. They don't get that big. Egon is super sus and tells everyone that, yeah, they can get that big.
I tried to tell you it is possible, Doctor, for them to get that big.
You could understand it, Doctor, if you just listen to me.
Hint, hint. There's a giant humanoid jellyfish walking around, and it has the sting of death. Eventually, the guys from the university come over, and there's an impromptu dance party at the docks. Even Egon tries to join the fun, but hey, that's not allowed. Everyone has to hate Egon. They bully him and make fun of him. I don't know why everyone picks on Egon. Poor Egon. After Egon leaves, the best part of the whole movie takes place. They have another dance number to the best song of all time.
Well, I'm saying fella, forget your Cinderella and do the jella, the jilla jalla jella. It's really sweller to do the jella jellyfish.
It's a boppin' tune about jellyfish. There's plenty of butt shots because why not? This whole segment is absurd, and I love it so much. It makes the film.
Do the jellyfish. Come on, do the jellyfish now.
One of the girls gets a little warm from dancing, so she decides to cool off in the pool. Before she gets in, the humanoid jellyfish walks into the pool area and then slips into the pool undetected. She swims around for a solid minute and a half without seeing the jellyfish monster swimming right beside her the whole time. I told you everyone was oblivious in this movie. She is eventually attacked by the jellyfish. The creature gets out of the pool and attacks the kids as it runs away. She and another boy are badly injured. The radio has been smashed, so they decide to take the boat to the mainland and call the police from there. Well, the giant jelly man thwarts their plans and sinks the boat. There are a few plastic bags, man-of-war jellyfish, floating in the water, and they kill the half-dozen people. More escapades happen when people die because they are totally oblivious to their surroundings. And the film ends in a scientific cave at the bottom of the Everglades where the jellyfish man fights Karen and John. The ending is fantastic. It's goofy, but the colors really pop and the jelly man is a top tier design. It's just a guy with a wetsuit on with a plastic bag over its head. I love it. The Sting of Death is 60s drive-in trash, but it's exceptionally entertaining. I love this movie for its faults. The random, uncalled for bullying, the dance numbers, a plethora of close-up shots of butts, the costume design, the stinted dialogue, the oblivious characters, fun colors, and a great setting. This film has everything it needs to be a so bad it's good movie. This movie has me howling every time I watch it, and I keep finding more things to laugh at. The Sting of Death was made for the drive-in, and when submitting the film, the drive-in owner wanted a double bill and actually financed William Grefe's next movie. Just so happened they needed the double bill right away, so Grefe wrote the script that night and filmed his next film, Death Curse of Tartu, in the next 7 days. Sting of Death and Death Curse of Tartu were shown together and were even released together on DVD and on Arrow's Blu-ray box set. Speaking of that Arrow box set, He Came from the Swamp is a wonderful collection of Grefe's work. Even though it doesn't have all of his films, it has most of them, as well as a feature-length documentary on this filmmaker's career. I love this set, and it's totally worth seeking out. I just love going through a director's filmography and seeing how they grow, how they improve, and what tricks they continue to use. My personal favorite on this collection are Sting of Death, Death Curse of Tartu, and Mako the Jaws of Death. Some of his other films featured on this set have a bit too much drug use and not enough horror for my liking. William Grefe was a pioneer of Florida regional filmmaking, and even though he never had the budget, his work was always impressive and always entertaining. If you love when a movie is so bad it's good, then Sting of Death is definitely worth checking out. And that's all I have for tonight. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and sweet dreams, everyone. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie theater? If so, what did you watch? What did you do there? I'd love to know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. See ya.